we're on the road right now. Over the next 36 months, we want to get to $100 million. That's our goal. And for people out there that may be like, what? Brother, you have to remember, I'm hanging out with people that are already in the 5, 6, 700 million a year range.
Yeah.
Right? The likes
Your
of
mindset just
Joe Marion, Andy Frisella, right? All these guys.
Yeah. Look, pull in the spot. Oh, watch how I drop. Believe it or not, this isn't all that I got. They told me to rock, that's not how I rock. Now I gotta pop Madonna.
Hey guys, welcome to the Flip Lab. Today I'm joined by a special guest, Carlos Reyes. For those of you guys that don't know who he is, he's one of the founders of All In Nation. I have a special place in my heart with All In Nation. The only mentor or seminar that I ever went to was their event about a couple weeks after I quit my last job in 2019. Mm-hmm. And the information that I learned from that really helped get me in gear and helped me scale my business to do millions of dollars worth of flips. And it's crazy sitting here now today, just about 2 years later and having you on my real estate podcast. So awesome having you on, man.
Brother, thank you so much for having me. Proud of, happy and proud of what, you and your business partner have been able to do, especially not only to the scale, but, the location, the location that you guys have been doing out of, which is New Jersey.
Yeah.
I actually have some really good friends out there. You probably heard of him, DJ Envy. He does.
They're up in North Jersey where it's crazy up there.
Yeah. I was just out there, actually. I spoke at an event there in New Jersey. Another guy named Cesar Pina, he owns probably like 2,000 plus units in Jersey. So seems like there's a market there, I've never touched it, but, it seems like there's a good market, and I'm happy that you've been able to do what you've been able to do, man.
I think it's cool to show people that, like, I live in like one of the hottest markets in like Phoenix, Arizona, but then I'm able to flip in like a market that people tend to be like New Jersey.
Yeah.
Who wants to do real estate there?
Exactly.
So I think it shows you that, if you do the right things, you could be successful.
You can do real estate anywhere. You can do real estate anywhere. And if you have the right systems and processes and everything that you got going on, you can be successful anywhere. So, props to you and your business partner, man.
Thank you. Thank you. And tell the people, for those of them that might not know about you yet, kind of give them a quick little 2-minute rundown of how you gotten to this point.
Absolutely. Real quick, I'm going to just keep my story like we talked about for 2 minutes. I'm Mexican from Mexico. I was born in Mexico. I was brought here illegally. I didn't get to Phoenix, Arizona until 1997. I was in the 7th grade. I got here illegally. My mother paid a coyote, aka a human smuggler, for people that don't know what that is. $25 to get me through a hole in the fence in Nogales, Sonora, crossing over into Nogales, Arizona. And I started my paperwork process in 1997, and it took me over 15 years to get my citizenship here in this country. And I'm very blessed to, to me, this is still the land of milk and honey, aside from all the turmoil that's going on.
Right.
This is still the land of milk and honey for me. I'm blessed to have gone through all the adversity that I went through. Now, I don't wish that upon my children, right? And I'll give you an example. In Mexico, I didn't have running water or electricity until around the 6th grade. So, I don't wish that, right? I had my house that, my grandfather built for me, my mother, my grandmother, and my brother. It was made out of plywood, 4x4s, plywood, dirt floors, laminate tops. So laminate roofing. So that's the kind of poverty that I come from. I started my entrepreneur journey in 2014. Met my business partner in 2013. We became business partners in 2014, started our entrepreneur journey. And, I can tell you this, it's, here we are several years later. We've already done over 1,000 transactions, whether it was flipping or wholesaling or even rentals now. We're not, we didn't make a reputation in this business because of all the properties that we flipped or all the millions and millions and millions of dollars that we made, right? We made a reputation in this business by the people that we were able to serve so far in our journey. We've helped, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, right? But outside the likes of Rich Dad Poor Dad education and fortune builders, no other company or entity besides allinnation.com has been able to produce more 7-figure earners in the game of real estate all across the country. And guess what? You know, we're a private company. You know, we're not a rich dad, poor dad. We're not a fortune builders, you know? So I think that's how we built our reputation in this industry, is by helping other people achieve their goals. And through that, man, it's been just a blessing, not only on, more importantly, on the network and the community that we've been able to build. But man, just like I said, like the lives that we've been able to impact over these past several years, man. So that's kind of my journey so far.
Yeah. I mean, myself included, you know, I would throw myself in that. Right. Yeah, I know. And I think as like I'm seeing what you've built up, and like, hopefully one day I can, you know, Flip Lab will be like an all-in
God
nation,
willing. Absolutely.
Right? Because it is inspiring, but I think sometimes you don't see all the people you even impact, which is the crazy part. Like until like you just walked in, right?
Right?
You didn't even know.
I was told, Brittany, you know, she has this questionnaire, my executive assistant, she has this questionnaire because I get booked on shows. Like I had, you know, probably 2 podcasts today, right?
Yeah.
And virtual out of, you know, I came here physically, and now that I came here, I'm very happy that I did. And I'm going to send Brittany a message after we're done. Hey, thank you so much. The reason why she booked this podcast is because you attended our event in 2018.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, anybody that ever, we were just discussing, anybody that's ever invested time, money, or energy into us, we are forever grateful, and we are forever there. We are forever here to serve them. Right.
Love
so I'm proud of what you're doing with your brand. And we can get into more on how we were able to build this brand and everything that it's taken here and you know, here shortly. But I'm proud that you're doing what you're doing, because guess what, man? Yes, you're building your brand, but you're serving a lot of people, and that's kind of a win-win, right?
Yeah, it does feel good.
I'm sure people are already like, hey man, I heard this episode. Hey, I saw you on this episode, blah, 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 you know, and it's impacted or served them in some way, bro. And man, when you do that, like, man, God has a way of just returning, right? Reciprocating, you know, that good fortune. So good for you, man.
Yeah. I mean, we're blessed to be in like Phoenix, where so many go-givers, you know,
there's good people here.
And I just kind of live by that, by example, by seeing you and guys like Pace and Templeton and all these other guys who have helped me along the way, try to just pay it forward. And it does, I think, always comes back in return.
Yeah.
So
people call this the capital, the guru capital of the world. But what makes us different in Arizona, right, compared to every other state, is that there's good people here. There's good collaborators here, right?
I tell people that.
There's Sean Terry. There's, you know, who else? Cody Sperber. You know, these are like my personal friends now.
Zach Keeps.
Zach Keeps, man.
Does a free hike every Sunday.
That's my boy. I've hung out at his house several times, by the way. I don't know if he's ever told you.
Yeah.
I've gone over to his house several times, and I'm actually supposed to be seeing him in the next few weeks. I want to go over to his house again. And, you know, he has a great overview of like the city, and we just sit there and we talk life. We don't even talk real estate. So
amazing.
We got some great people here, man.
Yeah. So I want to know, you obviously built a successful real estate business, right? Mm-hmm. And you've built a successful brand.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people, I think, when they get into real estate, they're trying to do both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
When you got started out, were you just focused on real estate?
Absolutely. For, let me see, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, for 5 years, straight real estate, nothing else. No, no shiny object syndrome. You know, so many opportunities were coming into us, and we were already making millions of dollars as of 2016. So 2016, 2017, 2018, you know, we were already doing very well. And what we started to actually do, right, is what we did was we systemized our company, which to this day, it is 100% systemized. Like, you wouldn't even know that I'm flipping a house in Berkeley, California, that I'm going to probably net, right, not gross. I'm probably going to net anywhere from $800,000 to $900,000 on one deal.
Jeez.
You wouldn't even know that, right?
Yeah.
I've never been to the house. I've never spoke to any of the contractors there. I have an asset director who actually oversees all our flips, whether they're in Vegas, California, or Arizona. He's the guy overseeing everything, right? He just flew back in on Sunday because he was down there taking care of that. Because, you know, this is a big deal for us. One flip, you know, $900K, it's a big deal to us, a single family. This isn't a commercial property.
Yeah.
So he does that. And again, the way that we were able to scale and systemize was through great people just like this guy, Jaden Pudney. We were able to create, hire good leaders that they align with our core values, they align with our core values. And because we were able to systemize our machine, right, which is still our baby. Like to this day, NCO, aka nationalcashoffer.com. We also own offerkey.com. That's our baby. Like those are our babies. That's where it all started. That's where we made millions and millions and millions of dollars that was able to fund other projects, other ventures. Like, we have over 31 companies now, but it started with one, and that's real estate. And the day that I shut down my real estate company is the day that you will not see me trying to educate in any way, because we're not full-time educators, brother. Like what I want you to know, we probably educate 5 to 10% of our time. Sal, we should probably get Sal here at some point.
Yeah.
Sal Shakir and myself, we pride ourselves on being like serial entrepreneurs, real businessmen, And if you take a look at some of the companies that we've been able to build outside of real estate, right? Solar, medical, education. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Now we're in the technology service, SaaS, software as service. So we've been able to fund and build all that because of one company, and that's our real estate company, right? We learned so much from the marketing to the personnel to systemizing, delegating. Everything came from real estate. So we're just very fortunate to be in this position now because of real estate.
Yeah. And I guess that has opened up all these other avenues. And it's kind of, once you learn how to build one successful business and you get really good at marketing and branding,
it's a blueprint.
It's a blueprint for everything else.
Yes, sir.
So what would you, like most people on here, they're going to be watching because they want to get into real estate. They want to leave their corporate jobs.
Absolutely.
Become entrepreneurs.
I left the corporate job.
Same.
You left the corporate job.
I did.
Yeah.
Once they do that and they start selling real estate, when should they transition to their brand?
Now, when you say they start selling real estate, see, there's so many different ways to, to skin the cat, right? Real estate agents, wholesalers, real estate entrepreneurs.
It's just like, what point of success? Because I think that people that don't succeed in this business, what I see is they get too distracted. And they don't see the years that you put in before you became Carlos Reyes all in, right? When you were hanging bandit signs. Absolutely. And I see a lot of people like they want to skip that part.
Yep.
So what would you tell those people?
Follow the same blueprint, which is build it. Build your machine. Build that empire, right? Build that first. Like, everybody out there, man, and people are doing it for the wrong reasons these days. They're building their brands for what? For confirmation, for
clout chasing,
for clout, for clout, or for not to serve, not to serve, right?
For the quick buck.
Exactly. And that never turns out well, by the way. It never turns out well. So what I want to say is this, build it, put in the sweat equity, put in the work, create an automated business, and then you can now, because you only have 100% to give. Now that you've hired, a CFO, an asset director, a sales director, acquisition managers, TCs, junior acts, whatever. Now that you've completely, automated your business, now you have more. Now you have some of that 100% that you were giving to that business. You can actually start using it in other areas, which that's when you should start building your brand for sure. But make sure that home is taken care of. First things first.
I remember one thing I learned was, learn how to do whatever you need to do in the business before you delegate.
Absolutely.
And don't skip that step. I remember you guys, I think Sal was the one that was really driving that point home.
Always. Which we've done it all. We've done, before we started building our company, we were doing the marketing, we were doing the coordination of transactions, we were doing the acquisitions, we were doing the dispositions, we were handling systems, we were handling the numbers, right? We were doing it all. And at some point, you don't want to be in that situation, man, because you'll end up like, Larry the plumber, right? Yeah. Larry the plumber, and I'm just using this as an example. He's a 60-year-old guy, 65-year-old guy that, you see his ad in the paper, you make a phone call because something's going on at home and you want to fix some plumbing issues. You call Larry, Larry answers the phone. Larry goes to your house. Larry gets paid. You see what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
Larry. And like
Larry works really hard his whole life.
That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. And it's not real freedom. It's not real freedom. And what are we doing all this for, right? Why are we taking all these risks? Why are we sacrificing everything that we're sacrificing? Is to actually have real financial freedom.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't be Larry the plumber.
Larry can't spend time with his family probably the way you can.
Absolutely
He needs to
not.
be at plumbing jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting in the work.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. As far as like with your real estate business now, I've seen, it looks like you guys were doing a lot of wholesaling
Mhm.
and, you know, being in Phoenix and stuff. Now I see you guys, it seems like doing a lot of flipping.
Flipping. Absolutely.
So what made that transition for you guys?
I believe that, you know, we were so addicted to the fast nickel, right? The quick nickel
It is
instead of
fun.
the slow dime,
You
right?
just had like a buy for 5, sell for 61.
And at
2
some
days.
point you're like, man, I don't, you know, it's like, it's not easy to get these deals. Like we're spending, you know, since 2017, 17, 18, 19, and 2020, we spent over $1 million on real estate marketing. That doesn't even include overhead. That doesn't include payroll. You know what I mean?
Right.
$1 million in just marketing. Like I'll give you a number from last year. We spent $318,000 on cold calling and we got back $1,055,000, right? Which was a 4X return. And that's the thing. It's like, if you're going to be spending all this money, taking all this risk, why not maximize on every single deal? And at some point, I'll tell you when it really took a turn for us. When it took a turn for us was March of 2020. When the pandemic hit and everybody ran for the hills, we had all these deals. We had no buyers. We were like, you know what? Let's just flip them, right? Let's flip
Take them
them.
down ourselves.
We knew when everybody ran for the hills, right? And that's their own limitations. I made 2 phone calls. I called 2 of my private money guys. I said, hey, you know, this is how I feel about the situation. I feel like we got to press on the gas. How do you feel? He's like, you are absolutely right. I've seen 3 to 4, I think he said 3 or 4 recessions. He's like, you're absolutely right. Let's press on the gas. All right, good. I just wanted to get your blessing. Boom. Called my next guy. Same thing. We stepped on the gas. You know, my guys are funding, you know, 100%. They're funding rehab. They're funding everything. You know, they're funding everything. So we just started flipping, man. Our goal at all times now is to have 15 to 20 flips going active always, right? Just actively going at the same time. We got 4 different crews and we're maximizing not only in Arizona, but we're flipping in Nevada. We're flipping in California. Those are the kind of the Southwest area is where we're flipping because it's very similar models and we can get the same type of personnel involved with, you know, with the contractor side.
Yeah. It's not like I flip on the East Coast and we're dealing with like underground oil tanks. And
that's crazy.
It's just a different.
Yeah. We're not dealing with
game.
oil tanks. We're not dealing with basements. You know, they're very mirror markets for us. So we're executing and maximizing on every single property. Yeah.
I know we did a similar transition. We just found it was harder to find deals.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, let's maximize the profit.
Yeah.
Instead of making a quick 60, we could flip it and make 100.
You said that. Yeah.
We just thought it was easier to just take the time and effort to do the flip. And we didn't need the money right now. It's like, we don't need that quick money at this point. I think when you're new and starting out, it's like, take the quick money so you could reinvest it really quickly.
Absolutely.
But that's kind of sounds like where you guys were
at
too.
It's good.
So then if you were me, this is what I want to know. I run a small flipping business. It's just me and my partner, 1 VA. Our overhead total is like $7,000 a month. We're probably going to do like $1 million net this year. Should we be scaling the way that you guys did and take on now all of a sudden? I mean, you have a massive overhead every month. You're making a lot more money than me too. We're like wondering, like, should we take that leap or should we just stay small the way we are and make, you know, 500 each from flipping and then try to make money in other avenues?
Yeah. So I think everybody's different, right? Like I don't do anything to play small. Like I don't ever want to play small. If I'm going to play small, I'm just not going to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong because you're making a great living. You're part of that 3% that's making, you know, like I said, your company's making over $1 million plus. So there's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, you should always be thinking about scaling.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why get into any business if you're just going to play small, right? I'll give you an example. Sal and I, we have over 31 companies and none of them make over 7 figures, right? What we're doing right now is we're looking at every single company. And if it's not making a minimum of $500,000, right? And we're actually taking a look into all the different factors. Like, okay, this is making $500,000. How much time and energy are we putting into this? You see?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's a lot of work versus what's like making not that much money, but it's no work. We literally don't have to do anything.
If it almost feels passive in some ways, which some of our softwares do that, you know, we will not proceed. We will not continue with the company. It's just, we're just not going to do it. We want to focus, like we're on the road right now. Over the next 36 months, we want to get to $100 million. That's our goal. And for people out there that may be like, what? Brother, you have to remember, I'm hanging out with people that are already in the 5, 6, 700 million a year range, right? The likes
Your
of
mindset just
Joe Marion, Andy Frisella, right? All these guys, right? For me to reach for $100 million is absolutely nothing. It's nothing compared to what those guys are doing. And I have something that they don't have. I have tech. I have technology, right? And don't get me wrong, they have technology within their own realm, right? But what we're doing, I'll give you an example. We have a company called ProspectX. ProspectX is like all these other companies that you see out there right now on steroids. It has a built-in CRM system. You can list pull, you can skip trace, you can build a website like Carrot, like On Carrots does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a one-stop shop. It runs comparables. It does list stacking.
I've been saying we need
that's what
real
I'm saying.
one-stop shop.
It's an all-in-one stop shop. ProspectX. And for those of you that are watching, ProspectX.com, get on the waiting list right now because we're actually onboarding right slowly. But again, ProspectX, in my opinion, should make us at some point, man, like I'll give you an example. If you sign up to ProspectX for $250 a month, right? And it gives you all those resources, right? CRM, website builder, list puller, skip tracing, all that.
Yeah.
Well, if I have 1,000 users, active users, this is very low, by the way, 1,000 users, right?
Yeah.
A company like Propelio has like 17,000 active users.
PropStream's got
PropStream probably has
probably more,
exactly.
Way more.
So if I have 1,000 users at $250 a month, what does that bring me every single month?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
what is that?
25?
No. If I have 1,000 users,
1,000 users
at $250 a month, right? What does that bring me? $250. $250,000 a month, right? That's 1,000 users. That's on the low end. We can get through our community. We can get more than 1,000 users.
I know.
Right?
You guys have a huge following.
So if we get 10,000 active users in the next 24 months, that's $2.5 million a month times 12, right? This is just one company, right? Times 12, that's $30 million a year. So you see why the road to $100 million is attainable, right? That we have another company called a Cadify, where now people like you, people out there that are, doing a podcast and you got your own little community, right? For, I don't know, $100, we actually put you into a Cadify and you kind of almost rename it. Like a Cadify would be named Flip Lab. That's but inside of that software, you can stream, you can have your own courses, you can have your own meetings, you can do all kinds of stuff, right? It's very organized. It's kind of like
teachable,
everything. It's like teachable
Kajabi,
exactly. So that, I believe, and Sal does too.
I love it.
That's the company that's going to get us to 100 mil very, very, very.
And I guess
soon.
Because you have this money maker in the
real estate. It all started with real estate.
Because these companies probably cost a shit ton of upfront costs.
We've bootstrapped over the past 3 years, millions.
Right?
One company was probably 3 mil. The other company, we've already think about it this way. Sal has over 50 developers per company.
Yeah.
Right. That's a lot of overhead. And not to mention all the other things that we got to purchase, the software.
I've looked into going down this route. And
exactly.
I'm like, damn, that's no joke.
So we've put several millions of dollars into these projects over the past 3 years. And we're excited because that's where we want to transition into. We want to transition into being a tech and real estate conglomerate. So
and I think it's totally needed. I use a lot of great systems, PropStream, a lot of batch services. I've used a lot of your guys' services, Need to Skip, Call Geeks. And it's all good, but man, if you could just kind of plug in and it's like the credit card's just hitting one company, it's like, it's all connected.
Exactly.
I think, I've been saying it for a while that, to have that all in one system.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys are gonna
exactly
take that spin on it, but
it's like for ProspectX, it's like your one-stop, solutions, your one-stop all solutions. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes, man. I'm excited. Because why? We just launched these new ventures this month. We literally May 7th we launched ProspectX. May 7th. Cadify hasn't even been launched. It's actually going to launch early June. So I'm so excited because now it's like the road to 100 million. You know what I mean? And it's, don't get me wrong. Listen, the road to 100 million, what's going to happen when we get to 100 million?
You're probably just going to want to,
we're going to want to keep going. Exactly.
Creating more value and impacting as many lives as you can. So I just think the way I always see it is like, start small, like start with a small wholesaling. Like we're on year 2. Like this is our second full year in real estate. So,
and you guys are already doing well.
Right. So I'm just like, I got time.
I can't wait to see what, year 3 looks like for you.
Right. So same with you. And I think the further you get though, it's exciting. It looks
but that's
like
why you have to keep pushing and you have to keep scaling. You see?
Don't settle for
exactly.
Comfort is where
don't settle for comfort.
Die,
Don't settle for limitations, right? Don't abide. Like don't serve your own limitations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no, because if you fight for your limitations, guess what? You get to keep them and you don't get to grow. So
I think Pace told me it's our duty. If you're that type of person that's meant to like create brands and give value, it's your duty to pay that forward to other people because a lot of people aren't blessed with that.
Brother, nothing but good comes from it.
Yeah.
Nothing but good. It's an absolutely amazing thing to see what some of these guys here in Phoenix, Arizona are doing. Obviously we've been doing it for a while. Right. And then the likes of Pace and Jamil and all these guys, like before us, you had Sean and Cody. You had those two. And then it's like we came 2018, huge wave. And we're still, it looks like you guys looks like our stock's still going up. Right. So,
everyone knows.
Yeah. We just did Freedom. Like when you went to Freedom, there was probably 350, 400 people. This last Freedom in the middle of a pandemic, right? When people told us not to do it, we had 758 people.
Amazing.
Right. And the lineup that we had was, Sean and Cody, right? And Max Maxwell and Pace. And we just got everybody.
The best real estate lineup
it was unbelievable.
Best one I've
brother,
ever seen.
It was unbelievable. The energy in that room, holy smokes. It was, it took me a while to come down from the energy. You know what I mean? So I hope you can make the next one.
Yeah, definitely will, man. I remember Sean Terry had that pump. The crowd pumped up.
Oh, the one you went to. Yeah. I love Sean, man.
It was fun, man. So a lot in store for you, man. If people want to just learn more about what you guys are doing, more events coming up, new programs coming up, where should they find you? Learn about All In.
Let me give, because I want to be able to serve your community, right? I want to be able to serve your community. And by the way, I'm fasting today. I haven't ate. What time is it? Who cares?
It's getting late.
All right. So I want people to download bestreibook.com. For everybody out there that's looking to get into real estate, right? Not only looking to get into real estate, but looking to leave their jobs. Like I got a blueprint right there in that book and they can get it for free. They go to bestreibook.com. They get the book for free. They don't have to go to Amazon and pay $20 for it. They get the book for free. And I tell you what, I want to challenge every single person out there that downloads the book and reads the book to send me a message after to see if, to give me some feedback on the book. And I promise you this, I give you my word, they're going to enjoy, and that book is going to impact them because guess what? Before the masterminds and mentorships and all this, I read one book. It was a $10 book and it was called Flip by Nick Ruiz. This was way back, like I said, 2013, 2014. That book was written around 06, 07 maybe, or 09. My book, I wrote it in 2018 and it's very updated, right?
Yeah.
It's going to help a lot. Actually, no, sorry. 2019 is when I wrote it. And it's going to help a lot of people. So download bestreibook.com and reach out to me, man. Find me on Instagram, Carlos Reyes, Reyes, on Instagram. And the one thing that I will always do, and I vouch for this, is I'm always gonna return either the message or something.
Yeah.
Right. I always try when some random person says, hey, I'm looking to get into real estate. Hey, I want to create a better life for myself and my family. I always get back to them because guess what? At one point, I was right there where they are. I was on that side of the table. So I give you guys my word that I will always respond. It may not be within the first few minutes. It It may not be the first 24 hours, but I will get to it. I promise. And when I get to it, I'm going to serve you.
Thanks for coming on the show, Carlos.
For sure, bro. Thank you
one
for
of the
having me.
biggest go-givers I know, and you've helped me a bunch to get to this point. So appreciate
Thank you, brother. And you know
having
what? You got so much ahead of you, man. The best is yet to come.
Thanks, man.
For
Appreciate
sure.
it.
Yep.